So these are our supplies. I'm going to make a card for a guy, so I picked out some masculine colors. I wanted it to be green. Not sure that I'll use all these colors, but I like to choose like some darks, some lights. This has a print that's not flowery, and this also has another print. These are scrapbook pages, and of course we need pencil, scissors, ruler, and a square. And I'm going to start with a piece of white scrapbook paper, and the first thing we're going to do is fold it in half. So we line up the corners, make sure that's lined up well before we make a fold. And then I'm going to measure 8 inches, because I just seen it could be 7.5. I think I'll do 7.5. Now the proportions seem to be a little wide, so I think I'm going to take up 1/4 of an inch. No, I think I'll take up 1/2 inch. I think, and this is the open side. This is just going to be a basic card, which could be for any occasion. Could be a birthday, anniversary, could be a graduation card, whatever occasion. Okay, so this is going to be our card. I like this print, and I would like to have that on there, but I think it's always nice to have a dark trim. So what I'm going to do first, put this so it's even there and there, and I'm going to use my square to mark it. So that's going to fit on the face. That looks dull by itself. That's where this pretty paper comes in. Choose which side I like. I kind of like the little green side right there. Okay, and I want this to be a little smaller so that it has a darker frame going around it. I'm going to do the same thing. So we want to try to create the same distance on this side as there is there. Okay, so I want to glue this on there, and then we'll glue that there, and that's the cover, but we're going to dress it up some still. Okay, this is a lighter print. It's kind of interesting. We could put a piece of that running down the side, just cut off a small bit, or we could put it on the top, and maybe we could put like a heading up here, put some words here. I think I'm going to go down the side. Since it's got lines on, I can use that for that. And I want it to go from the very top of the card to the very bottom of the card. So here's the face of our card, and I'm going to put that there just for design. Now, if it were a girl's card, I'd probably put some lace right there, but this is a card for a guy. So I've got this ribbon, and it's of the right color. It's in that dull green colors. I need to use a fabric scissors to cut this. Okay, the bottom of that green. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I can start gluing these pieces together. Okay, first thing, I want to glue this to that. And I don't want to use a whole lot of glue, so I just kind of dot it on. We center that to make sure that it's the same all the way around, as close as we can get it. And we put that in the middle. Okay, that's the face of our card. Now we put this on. I want to make sure this outside edge has got a good amount of glue on it because we don't want it to lift up. Because I have these different type of scissors that cut an edge. If it was a girl's, I would definitely want to make a interesting edge. But because of this design and because it's a card for a guy, I'll just keep it straight. Now, you could put this here. It could go there. But I'm kind of partial to just breaking it up that by putting it in the middle. Okay. A little thread. Little piece extra. Let's cut that off. Okay, so there we have a masculine face of a card. I still might put something on it, but for now, that's a good start. Now the card has got all this fabric on the front, and see how it's kind of heavy. So we do want to put something on the inside of the card to kind of give balance to it. I don't know that I want to put that dark color because it would be hard to write a message on it. So I need to look for a color that's lighter that would work with the colors that I have that I could write a message on. Okay, I found this. It's not white, but it's light. And it's not going to give me much contrast, so I think I need some sort of a frame around it. So I need to think about that. I might want to carry this design. I'll just kind of see how that will look. Might want to put that frame on the inside of the card so that way it matches up nice. I think that would be a good idea. So let's, size is pretty good right there. Okay. Do not use your good fabric scissors for cutting paper. It destroys and dulls the blade. Have separate scissors for different purposes. Okay, just check that. Good. We need this color. Okay, so this will be the inside of the card, and that will give balance so that we get stuff on there and there. And I'm probably going to decorate this too. I don't want to put too much glue in the center because I'm going to be writing a message there. So I just try to keep it to the outside edge. Center that on there. So now the card has balance. We have put weight on the front, weight on the inside. We've carried the color theme inside. Now I could use that ribbon again. I could put it like on the corner like that, just for a little decoration, or like that, or both corners. Or I could put it across like that. So looking for something that's not feminine, so I don't want lace. I thought about buttons. So I put out some green and brown buttons, and we'll see, maybe we can make an arrangement with buttons just so it has a little bit of decoration. It's like pretty good. That one could work. I like those. I could probably put some buttons on the inside too. Let me see. Okay, I like those. Now, if I did it on the side, maybe I could do little buttons. That could work as well. But I think I like the corner best. So, the brown, or a darker green, or medium green, even a duller green. Just needed to decide which I like, and then I gotta find a needle. So I think what I'll do is sew the buttons on. Let's see. I'll look at the colors again. Gotta go with the brown. Using embroidery thread, fasten the buttons to the card, sewing through the 4 layers of paper. Leave the thread end long on the inside of the card, and then after you've slipped through up and down through the first button, tie a knot on the back side. Then continue sewing each button in place. When you're finished, make a knot on the back side to finish off, and then cut your threads. Right, I have the photos glued on. I want to put a little message box here and there, so I'm going to write something. So I'm going to use my little angle again. And let me see, I want it to be about here and up here. And I want to round out the corners. Okay, and that goes there nicely. Let's make one down here. Yeah, it'll be easier to do it that way. I'm just gonna wing it. So that gives me a place to write something here and there, so that hides the thread. To give a little extra decoration, I used a marker to draw dashes that look like a sewed line of stitching that creates a frame around my little message boxes. That's a cute little touch. Glue those on, and I think I'm going to say something like, "You were always cute as a button. I see where your son gets it from." Something like that, and then I'll write a personal message here. Oh yes, and for the front cover, I want to put the word son right there. It's always a good idea to pencil in any hand lettering before you go over them with the markers to make sure that the wording will fit as you desire. That way you can make corrections if necessary. Now I do have this word cute there. I could use that. You were always cute as a button. I could stick another button on. That seems good. Let me just... In this box, I am using a combination of hand lettering, a sticker, and a button. If you have stamps, you could use them in places like this. Let ink dry a little bit, and then I will erase the pencil lines. Okay, so we have the front of the card, the inside of the card. My message will go there after I figure out exactly what I'm going to say. I'll work that out on the iPad first before I write it in there, because I don't want to make a mistake. And then I got to do something with that. I always like to put a note on the back of the card anyways to who made it. So here we go. Happy birthday, son. You were always cute as a button. I see where your son gets it from. But that's masculine card. It's not too fancy, but it's cute. It's got a style all its own. Okay, now we need to make an envelope. I'll show you how to make an envelope. Okay, we're going to use a full sheet of scrapbook paper. I could do it white, but this paper is a little bit roughed up. It's got wrinkles on it, and it won't be good for scrapbooking, so I think I can make it into an envelope. Okay, so we take our card, and plus it would match this. So we have a complete set. We turn our card like this, so it's kind of centered in the middle, and we're going to fold the edges. I'm going to bring it over slightly, because I want to make the envelope a little bit bigger than the card. And then move the card over slightly to the left and fold this side. Okay. Now the bottom, we're going to fold it up like that. And I'm going to just put this like that just to make a fold, but then I'm going to glue it down this way. Okay, that's going to be our envelope, and I have it loose fitting so it slides in and out nicely. So I just need to glue this part down. That's I knew that I was going to do this with the paper, so that's why the size of my card is what it is, because I want to be able to make an envelope. Because if you make a larger card, you have to have large paper. Okay, so we have an envelope. And you can tape it or glue it. I would only just lightly glue it, but there's an envelope, and you can go ahead and address it and mail it out. So that's how you make your own card, and it's just as nice as those $7 cards you find in the store, but I just worked with the materials that I had for my scrapbooking that I already have and just looked around the house. The ribbon, the buttons came from my sewing room, and I have a bunch of extra little photos that I could use, and I save buttons when I throw clothes away, so I have a collection of buttons. And so we have a nice little card that's could be for a Father's Day, a birthday, I mean whatever. You can change the holiday. You can even make up a whole bunch of cards and don't even put a holiday on it. Just wait until that time comes, which I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, because I have a bunch of birthdays coming up and some anniversaries, so I think I'm going to just make up a bunch of different cards so that I have them, and it's well balanced. It stands up nicely because we got weight here and weight here, so it's good. I mean, it has more weight here, but it has enough weight there so it stands up good. So there we go. Homemade card. And really, when I started, I did not even have a clue what it was going to look like. I was just playing, okay, let's try this and experiment with that. I knew I had a green, and the color had to be overall green. I used some very dull greens, but nevertheless, it is green because I wanted it to look masculine. I didn't want it to be all pretty and feminine, and I try to stay away from flowers. Here is a card with a similar design, but with a feminine touch. It has flowers and lace. I used mini flower punch to cut out the little flowers. This is for my daughter, so I included some photos of her when she was little. The photos are removable if she desires to take them out. Make your note personal with a simple message. It doesn't have to be poetic, nor does it have to rhyme. Most people appreciate a handmade gift. And here's another card for an older woman with a lot more lace on it. I used Mod Podge to glue all the papers, ribbon, and lace together. I applied the Mod Podge with a dollar store paintbrush. The green ribbon was too wide, but it was the right color to match my paper selection. So I used the lace to make it appear thinner by allowing the lace to cover up a good bit of the ribbon. I also applied Mod Podge over top of the lace to be sure that it was secure on the card. I wanted the blue band wider so that I could write on it. You can use the brush to gently position the lace in place. You do have to allow extra time for the Mod Podge to dry. You can save money by making your own cards and make them more personalized. I will do a video of more complicated cards, so please subscribe. You can also make scrapbook pages in lieu of a card, as I did for this couple's anniversary.